Well, hey, I'm here with Lisa Vorce, who is an amazing planner. This is the Photo Report. I'm your host, Braedon Flynn, and I'm going to be talking today just a little bit about the relationship between a photographer and a planner, and basically how that plays out. Because Lisa, we give a little bio just on yourself and like what you do and specialize in.
Yep, I'm an event designer and producer, and I specialize in destination weddings. So, travel all over the world.
And you've been doing this for how many years?
14 years.
It's a couple of years.
Yeah.
Good. So yeah, with just working with photographers, and because they obviously play a huge role in the day. You know, they're sort of like your closest person to your couple,
Absolutely.
who's your biggest client.
Yeah.
So in the sense, how is that relationship? Gracias. There you go. Can you talk about that relationship between photographer and planner for you?
Yeah, absolutely. For me, it's pretty much the number one relationship, I think, in our team of vendors that we put together for the bride, for not only on my side, but on the client side. Mm-hmm. So when I'm looking at photographers, it's a very long list of things I need them to be able to do and things I need them to be able to be. Want me to just tell you my whole my top 10? So, because I don't advertise and all my business is referral and my portfolio or what I'm showing to clients is from my photographer, I need to know that my photographer is going to capture the details, capture the emotion, capture everything. But they have to be able to do that by putting the client first. And I think that's, for me, I always need a photographer who knows that this isn't a big fat photo shoot. It is, but that's secondary. I need to know that you're going to get everything I want, but you're going to be able to do that by putting the client first. Client's one of their photographer's clients, and then I'm the secondary or primary, however you want to do that, but they kind of have to work in tandem. So I think a lot of photographers can, if I provide them beautiful things to shoot, which I do, they can capture that. But are they capturing what the client wants as well? Because a lot of clients don't necessarily want the invitation suite. They don't, I mean, some do, but, you know, they want the people, they want the emotions, they want, you know, what the groom looked like when the bride walked down the aisle. They need all that too. So it's a fine line. So I need them to be able to recognize that they have two clients that they're shooting for, and both I think are equally important.
Yes.
So that's huge. Two, I need them to be a team player. For me, my vendor set is really, really tiny. I work my vendors really hard, but I also protect them.
Right.
And we do amazing things around the world, but it's not easy. So I need to know that if crap hits the fan, my photographer is not going to freak out, because you are the one that's you're so close to the bride, you're with them, you've got to maintain control. I need like no drama. And I tell my brides that when we're selecting the photographer, it's not only the work that we're looking at, but it's that personality in the bridal suite that's going to be calming and amazing. And if something's on fire behind you, the bride doesn't need to know that, because you and I can handle that without them knowing. And that's huge for me as well. Being able to capture the detail. So I'll provide that detail. It needs to be worked into the day somehow while you're also shooting everything out that the client wants, which is a big challenge, especially at our events, because they're not, I mean, the days are crazy. And then I think also I think a lot of people forget the post-event side of it as well. Like, we've had some things where we've had some difficulties after the event where the bride was like, oh, they didn't capture blah, blah, blah. I need to know that we can work together to resolve that as well. So,
what are some times that you've seen like the bride not, like when you were saying the couples need to be put first? Like what is that? How have some photographers not done that well?
They focus too much on the detail, not on the bride, and put the detail before. So you have to get the detail. I'm going to be bummed if you don't get the detail. I'm going to be really upset, actually, if you don't get the detail. But you got to figure it out. And that's how, when we are doing the schedule, I'll do the first draft of the schedule. It's a really long conversation I have with the photographer where we really talk through. And I think that on the photography side, you guys need to be really vocal with the planner, saying you're not putting me in a position for success. And that's a huge, partnership. I'll always protect my photographer and tell the bride, if I have to go to the bride and say, hey, we don't have enough time, or you're not going to get these shots, or you don't have enough time for family, I will absolutely do that, because I'm not going to put together a bogus schedule that doesn't put you in a position of success, because nobody's going to win in the end. The client's not going to be happy. I'm not going to be happy. You're definitely not going to be happy.
Yeah.
So it's okay. I think it's okay to be very vocal with the planner and say, you know what, I'm really uncomfortable with that. We're going to need more time, which I think gets into a lot of contractual problems sometimes, because photographers are only booked for 6 or 8 or 10 hours. With me, with my photographers, it's just going to be 10 plus, easy.
Yeah, I don't think it's possible to.
It's
shoot
really
a wedding
not. Yeah,
like well
it's really
in less
not.
time
Yeah,
than that.
yeah.
That's one of the things that was one of my favorite parts of working with you. One, you're very laid back and easy on a wedding day, but structuring in that time for details to be shot, because like so often that doesn't get structured into the day,
right?
But we obviously have to get it, and so it's like chaos, or like I have to have my other shooter shoot it because I can't be in both places, and that works as well. But being able to have that done is
exactly
huge.
And having it organized for you as well, which I don't remember if we actually had it organized that day, and that day was a crazy rainy day too. The one up Church Estates, you handled that beautifully, but which also that's huge is when really crap goes awry, which doesn't often, but if it does, I need to know that you're like, okay, we got this, which is amazing. On another thing with the partnership too, I think that on my side, and we've been getting better and better and better at this, is getting all those details really organized for the photographer. So having the invitation suite, I always have it addressed to me, so it doesn't have any issues of it being published later. Right. But also, as much as I say it's not a big fat photo shoot, it is, secondarily. But I know also when I'm designing, I have photo vignettes in my head already, and we're getting better about communicating those to the photographer, saying, okay, I've got, the staff is in a certain attire, they're going to be holding these color cocktails.
Let's make sure
Can we get that
these?
shot? Yeah. Which tells such a beautiful story, and that's really it. It's being able to tell that story together.
Yeah.
Like I can write the story. You just need to capture it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But there is that partnership too of like being. Like I always try to ask, hey, like what is something that either the bride is like really cares about, or something that you've, because sometimes like everything's beautiful, so you try to capture it all, but then sometimes there's really exceptional things that are happening that sometimes we don't know that that's planned.
Exactly.
To create that experience, then that really tells that piece of the story. For a lot of like newer photographers, they want to work with a really great planner, and I'm sure being someone like yourself, you get a lot of people like asking to like do a styled shoot, or asking to like somehow they want to work with you. Right. What is the best thing that someone has done, or what's the best piece of advice like for a photographer who wants to like reach a planner?
$1 million question. So sending me portfolio work, email me, or sending stuff in the mail isn't actually that effective for someone like me. I don't reply to my emails all the time, which I'm working on, and we get so much mail, so it doesn't, and also there's no personality behind it. So the things that have worked for people, and again, my vendor set is so tiny, and I really do want to expand it. It's not that I'm closed off. Things that have worked well for me, if the photographer or vendor can bring the client to me, because understanding from my side, especially with the caliber of events we do and the amount of risk that's involved, it's really, really, really difficult for me to take that leap of faith and just try a new vendor. And also for me to really understand that vendor's work, I need to see how they shoot my stuff and how they react to my kind of day. So it has to be on my job, but how do we get them on that job? So bringing a client to me is amazing. That's the easiest way. I also am very open and very flexible about because I love destination weddings, and the more difficult it is to get to, the better for me. If someone has a wedding for 2 or something small, they might not have the best budget, but it's in,
incredible.
In Turkey.
Yeah.
I'm totally open to that. So it's about actively going out and finding people that would be willing to do that.
Right.
I also, I was just telling someone here that one of the videographers, when we were in the Grand Caymans, he approached me. For me, it's also about being genuine as well, and not. I love when people tell me I'm amazing and great, and it's very flattering. But you can also tell when it's really genuine or not. So I think being really genuine, and just having just a calm approach is really helpful. But Ryan approached me last year at Grand Cayman and was able to get an appointment with me, and he told me, he's like, look, I'll do anything to shoot one of your events, and it may not be full price or whatever. We did it. He just did it this past weekend, and it wasn't full price. But for me, I was okay with that. I explained to the client that I hadn't worked with him yet, but he's willing to do it at this price point, and they were like, great, sign him up.
Yeah.
So it's a fine line of when to discount and not discount and negotiate your prices, but that's one way to get me on board. And try it out.
I've suggested to some photographers who are trying to work with planners, listen, someone at your caliber, you don't need to do a styled shoot, and especially for someone who, but have you ever had anyone offer to pay you to design a shoot?
I have. It's about working it into a schedule. And again, if you do a styled shoot in Vietnam, I'm there. If it's in Emerald Bay, Vietnam, Cambodia, Turkey, again, the harder to get to, the better. Yeah. It has to be different and interesting, because if we do a styled shoot on the beach,
boring.
And everyone's seen it. And I think styled shoots, you have to be really, that's why I would push a wedding for two more than a styled shoot, because people respond so much better to something that's real, even if it's for two people, rather than just a beautiful table setup.
Well, cool. This is really helpful. Thank you so much. If people want to go check out your work if they haven't seen it yet, just go to lisavorce.com.
lisavorce.com.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
So easy.